Good morning, grade 11s. How are you? We are all having fun here on this side of the classroom. Right, let's start today off with eulogies and obituaries. Some of you might know what this is. Some of you have never been faced with this. So today I am explaining it to you because you never know when you might need this or do this yourself one day for a loved one. A eulogy and an obituary. Lesson 9, the 13th of the 11th. The 5th month. What am I doing? You are grade 11s. Sorry about that. Right, let's have a look. What is a eulogy? A eulogy is a speech that you deliver, and it is informal or personal. Usually at a funeral, after the minister has finished with the whole ceremony, he will ask if there is someone in the audience that would like to deliver a eulogy, or sometimes you arrange it beforehand. It is like something where you can for the last time praise the person that has deceased. Okay, whether it be a parent, a family member, a friend, whoever. It is given at a memorial service in memory of the deceased, right? It is heartfelt and sincere and meaningful. Remember, you never use a eulogy or an obituary to vent frustration or bad feelings you might have had towards the deceased. Okay, that is in the past. You move on and you only remember the good things. It should capture the essence, of the deceased. It should be brief, short, sweet, and specific, to the point. Decide on the tone. How serious or how light-hearted is your eulogy going to be? You can have a bit of fun. Some people have been quite a character and they were always playing pranks on people and people remember them for that. So you can make mention of that and just lift the mood, and for the last time let people remember the good qualities of the deceased. Okay, so decide on the tone that you are going to write this eulogy in and deliver it. Also consider your audience, okay? Then how do I start? They don't know you. Who are you? A son, a brother-in-law? So you need to introduce yourself by saying a few words to describe your relationship to the deceased. Give a little bit of information about the deceased, their family life, their career, their interests. And then also share a few stories or little anecdotes about how he helped the homeless. He was a prankster and he played that prank. He loved fishing, but they always got away or whatever. Then finish with a conclusion. Mention how much the person meant to everyone because they are there. He was a loved one and loved by all. And how much he or she will be missed. Involve your audience again. Get feedback before delivering the eulogy. It's always good to write it beforehand and then just read it to a few people and see. Sometimes some of them have some valuable input that you could also add. Remember, we are doing this as an exercise for future reference as well. So if you're ever in that position, you are sad and you don't always think of everything. So it's always good to do it and let other people give their feedback as well. And then you can just maybe tweak it a bit before you deliver the eulogy. Right, the next one. Let me first give you an example of a eulogy. Losing a loved one, friends, is one of the most difficult things that we can go through. So much more if it is your parent. No words can express how I am feeling right now, and only time can heal the heartache. My father, John, He was one of those hard, formidable men who had a vision for his future, his family, and his children. I also discovered that he was a compassionate and a kind person, a very loving father and spouse. I remember when I was little, our father found time to build us the most beautiful tree house and play with us. To his friends, he was a kind person, always ready to help. He always had a solution to every problem, and he was very generous. He showed strength until the end. I promise that I shall continue what my father has started. I know I will be filling huge shoes. Well, for now, let us all just remember the man that he was and be happy that he has finally gone home to his Father in heaven. There we have an example of a eulogy. It is a speech that you deliver. The other one is an obituary, and this one is usually published in a newspaper after the person has passed away, and then everybody who knows the person will read this, and they might not have seen them very often, but they will then know that this person has passed on and when and where the funeral arrangements will be. An obituary is a notice in a newspaper of the death and funeral arrangements. Okay, it is very formal. It can also record the family who is both living and deceased by mentioning them. It also thanks those who helped out in all regards with all the arrangements. And it could also request memorial donations or flowers or donations instead of flowers. It can be a compact and compelling story of a life, highlighting the main achievements of the person. But this is emotionless, okay? You will not bring humor into this. It is just matter of fact and slightly impersonal. Usually some funeral details are also included, like the date of the funeral, the time, the venue, the church, where it is going to be held. Note that it is written in paragraph form and it is written in the third person. An example of an obituary that will be read in the newspaper is the obituary of Janet L. Morris. Janet L. Morris, age 53, passed away peacefully on Thursday, March the 18th, 2020 at St. Mary's Hospital in Cape Town. She was born August the 18th, 1967 in Bloemfontein to Jerry, or Rob as we all know him, and Marilyn Farmer, her maiden name, who is now Robertson. She was a 1984 graduate of the University of Stellenbosch. Something about her graduation. She married Eric Morris on September the 15th, 2001 in Cape Town. She worked as a teacher at Arbor Primary in Franschhoek. She truly lived life to the fullest through simple measures, serving her community, chatting with friends and family, and devoting herself to her church and teaching. She is survived by her husband Eric, a brother Jerry, and many nieces, nephews, and cousins. Family, friends, and others whose life Janet touched are invited to the Oswald Gent Funeral Home, 206 Hamilton Road, Franschhoek, from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock on March the 24th, 2020, to reminisce, grieve, support each other, and say our goodbyes. So briefly published something about who she was, and then the people could take it from there and go and say their goodbyes. Right, your assignment would be the following. Please copy the notes, which I will also post, and then write 80 to 100 words on each of the following by first doing your planning in the back of your book and copying your notes. We're going back to Merchant of Venice just to refresh your memory on the play. Write a brief obituary of Portia's father, as it might be published in the Venice Times. Okay? You may elaborate a bit since all the information is not given in the play. Remember, it is creative. Okay? And then secondly, write a eulogy for Shylock the Jew, the moneylender and Jessica's father in The Merchant of Venice. The eulogy will be delivered at Shylock's funeral. Remember, he left all his money to Jessica and Lancelot, and therefore it would be quite interesting to see what you are going to come up with in this eulogy after old Shylock kind of ruined himself. But he was also not treated quite fairly by the other people, the Christians in Venice. So plan it carefully before you start writing. Have fun and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.